Hello everyone, my name is Michael. This is my channel. It's my day off. The namesake is because my full-time job is that of a first responder. I decided to start this channel this year. It's just been an outlet from what's affected all of us, the normal life of 2020. So if you like the channel and you like the review, I would appreciate your encouragement with a like and a subscribe. So today we're going to talk about the Jet 15-inch planer. I bought this, it's been exactly 1 year. I've had this, I've done a few projects with it, so I feel like I know it, I understand it, and I can give a fair review on it. So cameraman, let's go ahead and get to business. I'm going to move over here to the planer. Here you'll see that I actually have it up on an HTC mobile stand. And this is the way I've decided to move it around my shop. I'm actually going to be changing this because of some of the things that I've learned. One thing is the planer is very heavy. It's 255 pounds, so it's really heavy. It works fine to roll it when it's up in this position, but you'll see to actually put it down into place, it's very heavy and it jars it every single time I move it. So the other thing I found is that there's not a good place to grab it and hold it. So when you're moving the planer, I almost feel like I get my hands covered in oil because the only place to hold it is actually on the arms where the head moves up and down. So I have these steel in-feed and out-feed tables. They fold up and down. Here's one thing I'm going to show you that I don't like, and we'll get to it. It's the dust collection system, which actually goes right here. That dust collection system is in the way of the outfeed table. So if you have it put up and screwed on, you cannot actually close this table and fold it up all the way. So I'll show you that. Really quick, let me put this table down. I'm gonna let the cams off for the feet, and you'll see all 255 pounds come to the ground, and then I'll show you what it's doing to the feet inside the cabinet. All right. So there you go. That's 255 pounds coming down as softly as I can maneuver it by just holding on here. Again, it's just a heavy load. Here's what I wish Jet would do, is actually incorporate a mobile base into this machine. It would make a lifesaver for the users. And if you think about it, most people that are buying this piece of equipment at this entry level, they have a home shop. This is not a production machine. It's not a production shop, something that's going to be set in place. So most people are going to be moving this around. Jet, would you please make an integrated base? I'm going to take my machine and I'm going to change out to actually some casters that I can lock in place, that I don't have to cam this up and down. And then what I'll do is I'm going to take out the rubber feet and I'm going to put rubber in all four corners to actually give this a nice cushion base to sit on. And I'll show you, cameraman, if you'll follow me over to this side, I just want to point inside the cabinet here. You'll see down here where my finger's pointing that actually the metal is starting to bend. And it's happening on all the corners. The welds are actually breaking just from the machine going up and down in that little tiny jar. So if you look at the cabinet, I'm going to measure it really quick for you. It's pretty small amount of metal. Let's put that caliper on there, measure that. So we're at almost 2 millimeters, so I guess that's 1.9. So that's going to make that cabinet approximately 16 gauge metal. That's pretty thin metal. When you look at those welded corners for the feet, that's approximately an 1/8 inch steel. That's going to be a very hard weld to do well. There's definitely probably an engineer that sat in their office and did this instead of actually using it in the real world. So this would be my first knock on this piece of equipment, is this is very, very light for a cabinet base. I don't like the design, and by not integrating a mobile base, it makes it very hard on the user to use this. While we're down here, cameraman, swing over to this side. I'll show you the pulley and the way that the motor mounts. This is underneath a panel, and I'll tell you, the very first time that I fired this up, I actually heard a bolt break off and go flying down through the bottom. and then my belt began to rub against the side because it was off. And I think what happened, I don't blame it on Jet, I think it was probably shipping that may have been hard on this unit. If this motor moves up or down, it has the ability to move this belt on this pulley sideways. So right here is the bolt that broke. This is the one I actually had to tap out, re-drill, and put a new bolt in there. When you get your new machine delivered to you, I would recommend that you just take off this panel and just inspect this belt and pulleys. Make sure that everything's lined up before you fire it up. Let me see if I can actually find that bolt. Okay, yeah. Here's the bolt that actually broke. So that's the stock. I, again, had to drill it out, tap in a new bolt. Wasn't the end of the world, but it also wasn't necessary. So let's take a look at the dust collection on this. That's the other piece I wanted to talk about. Again, I don't understand why Jet would make something like this. If you want to use this, you have to take this piece off. So the way this mounts up is just like this. You can see there's 3 holes there. And you know what I think? Before I bolt all this together, I'm going to take this cover off because I already loosened it for you so that you can take a look in here. You can take a look at the cutter head and how that looks. So it's pretty easy access. Again, there's, what, 5 bolts to get to the heads. I'll spin that for you. You can kind of just take a look at the cutters. And I'm going to run this for you. You can see how good of shape it's in. We'll get a clean cut and you'll be able to evaluate if you like the product. Anyways. All right. So I'm going to put this on. We'll probably have to fast forward this on the video for you so it doesn't take all day. So here again, that's how that outfeed table works in stores if you leave your dust collection hood set up. Whoever thought that that was a good idea or convenient for the user, again, they were sitting at a computer with CAD designing instead of actually out in the shop using it. Not pleased with that. I'm going to put this cover on over the pulley because eventually we're going to fire this up. These metal covers, they go on pretty simply. Just in place like that. The 4 bolts tighten down. Good airflow, I like that design. And this is the front for the motor. Again, very simple. So let's take a look at this head, how it raises and lowers. They show you on the video from Jet that it's pretty simple, and it really is. It goes up pretty well. Not a bad design. Let me grab my level and I'll show you the table. I'm pleased with the steel table. Alright, so if you take a look at that, across the bottom of this steel table here, you can look at the level. And they've done a nice job on this steel table. It's really flat, it's really true. It might not be perfectly level on my level because my garage floor slopes down. But when you look at that in the table, it's really, really good. So A+ Jet on that. So let's plug it in, we'll fire it up. It's got 2 speeds, but I do always run it on the lower speed. Again, the dust collection barely keeps up with it on low speed here in my shop. I will give Jet kudos. The motor is fantastic. I've done a full 15-inch wide plane and it doesn't slow down one bit. I also really like the anti-kickback fingers in here. If you can take a look under here, you can see these fingers right here. They work splendid. So again, once the piece of material goes in, these grab on and they don't let it kick back out towards you. They work very, very well. So this is a 230 volt machine. It runs on about 11 amps. It kicks out a lot of noise. The decibels are way up there. I think it's 98 decibels that this kicks off, and you need hearing protection. It's very loud. So I'm gonna plug it in. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna run it, and we'll let you be the judge. I got a piece of 2x12 I'm gonna run through there. So there it is. I'll give credit to the machine. It actually works really well. It does leave a little bit of snipe, even like right here on the back. You can see it sniping on the back. So on your pieces that you're gonna do, if you wanna leave yourself enough to go wild on the ends to actually cut off, that's probably gonna be your best bet, or you're gonna do some sanding. I will say, after running a few pieces of lumber through here, if you can have someone actually working on your outfeed table to just give a nice steady pull at the end, it'll help with that snipe. So once again, Jet did a good job on the motor, on the construction, and the fit and finish. The mobile base and the dust collection are the negatives. I hope this review helps and that you like the channel. Have a good day.